So today I'm going to show you guys my Cattleya and Vanda orchids, and I'm going to show you guys a couple more species and some other orchids that I have that I haven't shown you yet. I'm going to start with some of my younger Cattleyas, and then we'll go to the mature ones, and then I'll show you the Vandas and everything else. So I haven't shown you guys these because they are not in bloom right now, and a lot of them have, a year or two before they reach maturity. Some of them 3 years. It'll take a little time, but we will start. So the first one I have here is the Brassoleocutlea, Sueño de Amor Leia, crossed with the Brassoleocutlea Volcano Star, Volcano Queen. So this one I got from Carmella Orchids. It hasn't bloomed yet. It's still pretty young. Got a lot of algae. I repotted this maybe a month ago, but it's still establishing. I want to straighten out this pseudo bulb. It's like a little collapse, but I just have to play around with it. But yeah, that's the first one. The next one I've got is the Patina Hawaii, Hawaiian Charisma Hawaii. And this one I really like. It's still very young. It's got a new growth, which you can see, but the root system is just insane. Like, what? I repotted this 2 months ago, July 3rd. And like, it's just been throwing out roots like crazy. So it's really happy, and I look forward to this one growing. This one's the Patina Hawaiian Charisma Hawaii. Next one here, I've got the Patina Immaculate Heart Hilo Red. Sorry for the background noise, there's a truck going by. And a motorcycle. Anyhow, this one's growing. It's got a new growth right there. You can sort of see the roots through the container. This one's pretty happy as well. I repotted it as just like the other one. So this I really like. So this actually bloomed before. This is the Brassoleocutlea Little Stars, Yasuji Takasaki. And this one is really nice. It has fragrant flowers. And it's a little bit different. It doesn't like very moist potting media, so I just have this one in bark. And I've got another one. So I have two of these, and this is the same as well, but I've mentioned that I grow some orchids on my fire escape. So this one I have under lights, and this one I have under the fire escape. This one's a little damaged because my cat decided to take a bite off the top, go figure. But you can sort of see this growth is purple. I think it's fine, just getting a lot of sun, but overall, it's doing well. It bloomed from here. I'll put a picture of the flowers so that you guys can see it, but I really like this one. It has such a nice fragrance, smells like perfume, and it's just really, really nice. Moving on to the next one, because we've got a lot. This one is the Brassoleocutlea Mari's Glory H&R. And this one, also very nice root system, sort of coming out of the pot here. Potted in sphagnum moss and bark, just like my other Cattleyas. And it's got a new growth right there. Potted that one back in June. Next over here, I've got the Patina Dick Smith Paradise. Yeah, and this one is, whoa, I didn't notice this was coming out of the bottom, but that's a good sign. I potted this back up around July 4th, July 3rd actually. Taking on nicely to the new medium. It's got a new growth. And I'm gonna put a picture of all these flowers so you can see how nice they are, but I'm looking forward to that one. That one's very pretty. Moving on to the next orchid, we've got the, let me take this out, Brassoleocutlea Volcano Delight Volcano Queen. This one was really pretty as well when I saw it, but yeah, this is a new growth. I want to straighten it out a little bit, but it's maybe a year or two from blooming. And these are all going to be fragrant, so looking forward to that. Okay, this one, I got a story for this one. This is my Brassoleocutlea Ong Tai Naigo Cocohead. So I experimented with this one by putting it out on my fire escape for a day. And I have my Vandas and my one of my Brassoleocutlea out there, and this one did not like it. Clearly I didn't acclimate it or anything. It was like a really hot day and it burned right away. So the next day I noticed and I realized, lesson learned, you have to wean your plants into it. And I'm on an east-facing window where on the fire escape they get maybe 5 hours of direct sunlight. So it was a little too strong for it. I think next time I definitely have to wean it in. But anyhow, it's growing a nice new growth over here. The root tips look good. And I got it with the rest of these Cattleyas. Moving on, since we have so many, I've got the Patina Hawaii refilled Paradise Fuchsia. This one's looking good too. Can't see too many roots. There were a couple root tips in the medium, but it's got a nice little growth over here coming up. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Next, we've got the Brassoleocutlea Prada Green Deluxe NN. So this is a green one. These are all fragrant. So yeah. Oh, this one I potted in like a different kind of medium, like for oncidiums. I remember I ran out of potting mix, but looks good, growing. Next one is a little different. So this one is my Otara Hua Yuan Bei Shishu. Hopefully I got that right. But this one is like a complex hybrid. I'll put a picture up of the flowers. But this one's a very different one. I think it's crossed with a, oh, look at those roots. Root porn. Anyhow, I will put the pictures up of that one. I got it because it was so pretty. And then I have a last one over here. It's a little baby. And this one is a Brassoleocutlea George King Wine King Brassoleocutlea George King crossed with Brassoleocutlea Wine King Kosakai. I don't think I have a picture of this because it's a cross, but it's a little seedling. So I have to repot it. I've just been keeping it in a little moist paper towel. But yeah, these are my young Cattleyas. Only the Brassobolas, the two on the bottom right-hand side, have been in bloom. The rest will take some time to go into bloom, maybe 1 to 2 or even 3 years. I got the majority of these from Carmella Orchids. They have a fragrant orchid special. It was like 12 orchids for $68, something like that. So they were super cheap, but the only thing is you just need a lot of patience because it'll take a while for them to bloom. Anyhow, next I'll show you some of my mature Cattleyas. Hey guys, so these are my mature Cattleyas. So all of these have bloomed already for me. And we'll start with this little one here. So this one is a compact grower. It is called the Brassoleocutlea Solar Flare Paradise. This one is really nice. It's very small, so it's nice if you don't have too much space. It bloomed for me, came out of that growth right here, and now it has a new growth. So I'm excited about that. I repotted it about a month ago and it's already has that growth and it's putting out nice roots. So I'm excited about it. This one is really nice because it smelled like citrusy, so it smelled like lemon, and I loved it. The flower was very pretty. I will put a picture of the bloom. It was gorgeous. It looked like, it had like, it's called solar flare, so it had like, it looked like the sun. It had like yellow on the petals. It was beautiful, but I'm looking forward to seeing this bloom again. So this one here, this one's growing crazy. So when I have to repot it because it was knocked down and it lost some of the medium. Rather, I have to top it off because it fell yesterday thanks to my cat. So this one is the SoFolio Circle of Life Carmella. I got this from Carmella Orchids as well. No, this one doesn't have any fragrance. Almost all of my Cattleyas have fragrance, but this had a really cute pink flower, and I really liked it. I just need to top it off with a little more bark. It's got a new growth right here that's new, that came out this month. It's got an interesting way of growing. It sort of like knocks other orchids down, if you know what I mean. Like it's not like these over here, which like are a little more, well, the one in the back is a little, I don't know. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna contain that. Anyhow, that's the Ledeocatlia Circle of Life Carmella. Moving on, this is probably my favorite Cattleya orchid. I've had this in bloom for about a month. Loved it. It's called the Brassoleocutlea Wine Leopard Chinghua. You guys have seen this in bloom in my early videos. And smells so good. It has like leopard print flowers, and it smells like a little bit spicy, yet, you know, it's hard to explain. I'm trying, like, when you're explaining these fragrances, it was like a spicy yet floral flower, and it filled up the room. And I really, really like this one. I repotted it 2 weeks ago. It's already throwing down roots. I put a little moss in it and bark. It's doing all right. I know that Cattleyas don't like to stay wet, but so far, so good. This one seems to like it. Moving on to this monster in the back. I repotted it and it's like shifted to the side, so I want to correct that because I don't want it to knock down my other plants. But this one is the Brassoleocutlea Hawaii Island Bride 36. This one was gorgeous. It smelled really good. I've shown you guys this as well. This one has a white flower. It was very frilly. You know, this orchid had like a waxy flower with like a lot of substance, so it lasted a month. This one had like a very thin frilly flower. It lasted about a week, so it was in bloom for a week only. Smelled like jasmine, which was really nice. It was super fragrant, but the downside is it didn't really last. So a whole year for growth to basically a whole new pseudobulb needs to grow, then you get the flower. So a week is sort of a bummer, but I enjoyed it. Okay, this one over here I've shown you guys as well. This one was in bloom for like 3 weeks, sort of short, but this one's the Brassoleocutlea. Focus! Hin Ying Greenworth NN. I will just put the name on the bottom for you since that was a little faded, but this one was really pretty, very fragrant. I really like that one. And then the last one we've got here is the Patina Beauty Barana. So this one I had in bloom, but unfortunately the buds blasted, so that was a bummer. So I never got to see the full bloom. Had to cut it off. They dried up, but all good. I repotted it 2 weeks ago, also throwing out new roots, which is fantastic. So it looks like it's gonna grow nicely, and I'm gonna get a new pseudobulb soon. But yeah, this is my Patina. Next, I'll show you guys my Vandas. All right, so here are my Vandas and the rest of my other orchids. These two over here are grown on my fire escape. So Vandas need a lot of sunlight, and I am on an eastern facing window or grow under lights. So I feel like they don't get enough light if I put them in the windows, and I want to give them a nice fair shot at getting as much light as possible. So I put them out on my fire escape. I don't think I could find a picture of this one because it's a cross that I've never seen before, but this one is called Vanda Vascostylus Memoria Clem Crosby, crossed with Mimi Palmer. And this one is my very first Vanda. I've never grown these before, but I potted it up in bark. It's like hit or miss because like look, you can see a dead root there, a root tip here, strong root tip there. So I potted it in sphagnum moss and bark, and what I should have done is I should have put the sphagnum moss on top and kept the bark chunky, because Vandas don't like to stay wet. So usually they like to be in baskets. They need a lot of air. Some of them grow bare root, but I don't have the time for that. So I potted it up, and it's doing okay. I mean, it's growing a new leaf, which is great. I think it's getting used to it. Something I should have done, which I mentioned already, is I should have acclimated it to growing outside on my fire escape, because this leaf got burned, but that's okay because I think I got used to it. There's no other burns, and it seems to like being outside. So this is my first Vanda. This other Vanda is a I gotta rewrite this thing. So it's a Neostylus Fuchs Ocean Spray, and this one is like a mini Vanda. And when I realized that these roots were dying off when I potted this one, I made sure to put the sphagnum moss on top. That way it's not suffocating the roots, and this one's doing all right. So it's growing new root tips, as you can see there. It's in a chunky mix. It took a while to get used to it, but it's starting to throw out new root tips. It didn't get burned outside, but you could see a little bit of purple on the edges of the orchid as it's growing. Those leaves on top are all new, so that's a good sign. So hopefully this one will bloom soon. Oh, well, the burn, it does have a little bit of a burn, but it was very minor. But next time I can combat this by just gradually acclimating them. But yeah, this one grows outside. I would love to see some spikes on this one day, so we'll see. That one's still pretty young, so it's a ways off from blooming, but I think this one will probably bloom within a year. So this one is a little seedling Vanda that I got. This is the Vanda, let's see, Banjong Sky Blue, and this one is brand new. I got it by mistake from a seller, and I'm just keeping it, trying to grow it in water culture. I put like a tiny bit of water. So far it's doing okay. It's no roots are dying off, which is nice. That little new root is coming out fine, so that's good. And then those are my Vandas, and then let me show you a couple others. So these are my Maxillaria Tenofolias. So this one's my yellow Maxillaria Tenofolia, and this one has bloomed already for me. It smells like coconut and pineapple, which is nice, but it's sort of unruly. It's all over the place. So it's always knocking stuff down. It's growing a lot of roots. I am having trouble with algae in these pots, which is a little bit annoying, but I don't know. I think I just have to keep it a little dark. But yeah, this seems happy. But yeah, look at the algae. It's like growing. It's so, ugh. It's a little annoying, but what can you do? This one hasn't bloomed yet. This is the regular Maxillaria Tenofolia. So this one is like a pinkish purple color, and that one is yellow. And these smell like coconut. And they like it moist, so that's what I read. That's why I have them potted up in sphagnum moss. This over here, this is my smallest orchid. This is my Diachia hendersoniana Hawaii. I know Teresa from Teresa's Corner has this one as well. Hi, Teresa. So this one, it's been in spike since June, but it hasn't given me any flowers, and it started growing a little leaf. On Teresa's recommendation, I potted it up in this little pot because it came like mounted in a little slab of wood, but I don't have the resources to water it every day. And this pot actually dries really fast, so I have to water it like every other day. It's very cute, it's very little, but you know, the smaller the pot, the quicker it dries out. And this one likes very high humidity, so I think it's gonna be a pain to grow, but it's really cute. Pot it for 3 months, hopefully I keep it alive. Last one here, this is my Tolumnia. This is called Oncidium popoki mitzi. I don't know that I'm doing great with this one. So this one has burned a little bit under the lights. As you can see, it's turned a little bit purple. And, you know, I potted it up in like a chunky medium, but I think, you know, these like to be mounted as well. It likes like a dry and a wet cycle, but I don't have the time for that. So I'm gonna see if this works. I may repot it into something else that's more suitable that will allow it to dry, but the good news is I noticed some new growths coming in. Where's the growth? I'm trying to, oh, right here. You can see that little spot there, so that's good news. So we'll see how I do with this one. But yeah, now you guys have seen my Cattleyas, you've seen my Vandas, and you've seen the orchids that I grow on my fire escape, and you've basically seen all of them. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I will keep you posted on how these do, especially the younger Cattleyas. They are gonna grow to be some big ones, so I'm excited to see them. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.